What's up, everybody? Peace and one love, my people, and welcome to Keeping It Real Estate live on the first row. This is your boy, Key Bryant, your Sacramento Realtor and Masters Club member that's committed to bringing you value and second to none service with your best interest at heart. Y'all, it's been a long time I haven't seen y'all, man. I missed the first row subscribers. What's going on with y'all? Hey, listen, if you have not subscribed to the first row, go ahead and do so right now. Press that subscribe button. Click on the like button, man. We got some good content for you today. Today, we will be talking about timing the market. All right. Everything that everybody wish they can do, right? They want to know that they can time the market, know when it's low, know when it's high, know when it's neutral, right? So that's the subject we're going to be talking about today. But first and foremost, I want to apologize. I haven't seen you guys in a while. So you guys are actually going to get content from me, not just this week, not just this Monday, but also next Monday as well. That's going to be the 5th Monday. So since you didn't get anything from me on the 2nd Monday of this month, you're going to get something from me on the 5th Monday. All right. All right. So before we jump into it, we are going to talk about interest rates. Okay. So where are we at currently? We are now at a 4.05 interest rate for a 30-year fix. 15-year fix, we're at a 3.3. Now, that's a little bit different than what we had last week. Now, last week for a 30-year fix, we had a 3.97. That's what's up, right? These are the averages, y'all. So you can even get better than that if you have A paper credit. That means you're really high FICO score, right? Everything looking good. Same thing with the 15-year fix. We're at a 3. Actually, the 15-year fix was a little bit higher. We're at a 3.34. So that was a little different last week. And then going into the 30-year jumbo, we are at a 3.90. That's what's current right now, the current average. So that's slightly higher than where we were at last week at 3.85%. So y'all, we still have really, really low interest rates that are out there. So listen, if you're looking to purchase, man, now's the time. If you're able to afford a home, now is the time to do so. Again, I do want to tell you, these interest rates I'm telling you about, they are not created equal. And what I mean by that is based on your FICO score, you can have superior or inferior rates to the averages I just gave you. All right. Also, before we get into it, I wanted to kind of let you guys know that today's topic is going to be a little bit more off the cuff. And the reason why I want to talk about this subject is because I continue to get messages from buyers or potential buyers and sellers about what the market is doing. I mean, everyone is running their mouth, especially in the Sacramento area, talking about that the market's going to go down, market's going to go up. All of these projections from who knows who, right? Rather if it's their friend that just became a real estate agent last year or whatever the case may be, rather if it's their moms or pops, whoever it is, you know, someone's giving them this information. And so I kind of wanted to clear the air about some of these rumors, things and so forth about trying to time the market. You know? So anyhow, without further ado, let's get to the subject. Timing the market, and I mean real estate market. Okay, can you do it? Should you do it? What's the deal, right? So when it comes to timing the market, that is something very, very difficult to do. All right, now everyone wants to say that they've timed the market at some point in time. A lot of people want to go back to what happened in 2008, which was a very unique market, right? And they want to give you the advice that, hey, you know, we think that you're currently in a bubble. You know, California, rest of the nation has been what they say in a bubble for some time now. However, the thing is that how's that bubble going to burst, right? So a lot of people are saying, oh, the market's going to go down next year. So you shouldn't buy a property, wait till it goes down, or you should sell your property now because it's the peak of the market. There is no telling, y'all. And as a real estate professional, I couldn't tell you, right? We don't know what's going to happen. And if anyone is telling you that they know what's going to happen, They are guessing. They are literally guessing. And if they end up being right, it was pure luck. I can't tell you how many people said, "Oh, I knew the bubble was going to burst in 2008." It's just that they sold at the right time. So when they sold it, and at the beginning of 2007, it just so happens that they sold at the right time. All right, when the market went down. But see, another thing is that a lot of people were talking about, "Oh yeah, I bought my home in 2009 or 2010." When the market was low. But what they didn't know is that 2012 was the lowest year, right? Especially in Sacramento, you were able to buy properties significantly low. So there was no way of telling that. And then back in 2013, the market started going back up again. So the way to time the market, no one knows that. And if you do know it, that means you're getting insider information. And if you get insider information, you might want to hook your boy up, let your boy know some info. But no, going back to the subject, listen, timing the market is something very difficult to do. Your professional investors try to do that, but they do it in a more strategic way. And what I mean by a strategic way is this: they just look at what the basic market is doing. Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? Or is it a neutral market? And that's basically what they're going off of. They're not trying to say, hey, I'm going to buy at the bottom of the market and then sell at the top of the market. If that's the case, they're going to be holding on to properties for a very long time, and that's not what investors do, right? So the thing is that typically they want to purchase and then they want to sell quickly. And so if you were to use 2008 as an example, if an investor was to purchase a property, and let's just say an investor was lucky and they purchased in 2012 at the bottom of the market, they and then say they sold in 2015, right? They didn't sell at the height of the market. Even though they bought at the lowest part of the market, they didn't sell at the highest part of the market, because right now in 2019 is significantly higher than what properties were selling for in 2015. Do you see what I mean? So trying to time the market is a very, very risky thing to do. And all you're going to do is just sit. You're never going to get to the point that you're actually purchasing or that you're actually selling at the times that you want to. Okay. So get that out of your mind so far as trying to time the market. What I will say is this: it's time for you to purchase a home when you're ready to purchase a home. Okay. If you are able to afford a home to buy and it is something that you want to do, right, as opposed to renting, then that means now is your time to buy. If you need to sell your home for any reason, you want to sell it because you want to move up and buy the next home, then it is your time to sell. Okay. Now, we could say, hey, if it's a buyer's market, it may not be a good time to sell. But if you have no other choice and it's time for you to sell, that means you have to sell during that buyer's market. Okay. So that's kind of what I want to get into right now. And here are some tips, really. As a buyer, you want to make sure when I'm purchasing a property, number one, is it in a good location? Location is everything. Okay. Location is going to determine how well your property appreciates during an up market. Okay. Location is going to determine how great the schools are in your area. That's usually a, um, a correlation between properties that appreciate and hold their value. Depends on the type of school district that they're in. If it's a really good school district, those things pretty much correlate. All right. And then when you buy, obviously buying at a fixed rate. Okay. If you're at a 30-year fixed rate, you don't have to worry about what the market's going up or down. If you know that you're going to be staying in your home long term, and when I say long term, I'm talking about at least 10 years, right? I mean, we can even say 5 years is considered long term, but at least 10 years into the property, hey, I'm going to be here, then you necessarily don't have to be concerned about how the property is going to fluctuate because you're on a fixed mortgage, which means as long as you're able to make the income, which anytime that you're getting pre-approved for a property, you want to make sure that you're buying a home at a comfortable monthly payment. You don't want to be house poor, meaning I got to stay in today. This house is fat, but I got to stay in this house because I can't pay $20 for gas. You know what I mean? Like I need to walk everywhere I go because I can't afford anything else. You never want to purchase a home like that. The way you want to purchase a home is you want to be comfortable, right? And if you're able to make those payments, meaning you're staying employed for that time period, your payments are fixed. You don't have to worry about them fluctuating up and down, right? So in that case, and let's go back to 2008 again, right? When people, let's say for instance, someone bought a home in 2006, which was, really the peak of the market, high interest rates during that time. I think interest rates were around, and I don't mean necessarily like high, like our grandparents were, they were having interest rates, above 12%, 15%, even 20% in some cases. But I'm talking about high for our generation, right? In our lifetime, if you are a millennial or Gen X. But what I mean by that is it was a 7% interest rate back in 2006, I believe, 2006, 2007. And buying a property at the peak of the market. You would say the peak of the market because it was a bubble during that time. And obviously the market crashed in 2008, right? So if you had purchased a home back in 2006 and it's the peak of the market and it was a fixed mortgage, meaning something that you can afford, something that you can continue to pay on a monthly basis, just as if you were paying rent, even though we know rent is never fixed. We know rent continues to go up. These landlords are not playing, y'all. So at a fixed rate in 2006, it didn't matter that the market went all the way down in 2008. Why? Because you could still pay your monthly mortgage, right? And so those who were bought the property in 2006 at a fixed rate and they just sat and they just continued to pay their mortgage, that value of their home went right back up 10 years later. In 2016, the market started normalizing to where it was back in 2006. And now I'm pretty sure they have even more appreciation in their property and more equity in their property here in 2019. And that's in the majority of areas. Some areas didn't do as great, but for the most part, everything has recovered from what happened in 2008. So you look at that and they just ride the wave, staying on the fixed rate. They didn't have to worry about balloon payments and things going up and down because they were doing risky type of loans, like a 7-year ARM, thinking that they could sell the home before, values went down, things of that sort. No, they stayed at a fixed rate. And as long as you're fixed, you're good. You're A-OK. So that's the important thing about purchasing a property. It's not about timing it. If our grandparents sat back and they were trying to time the market, I'm going to use Sacramento for an example because I know the Sacramento market. But our grandparents that bought homes in the fabulous 40s for $100,000, $200,000, and now these properties are worth 1.2 all the way up to 3, 4, 5, $6 million. There's even some that was up at 8 million, right? And we're talking about in a span of 30 to 40 years, right? So they sat on those properties. Like if you imagine how you can accumulate wealth and appreciation over time by just sitting in your property, right? That is what appreciation does. That's what the real estate market does. So I strongly doubt that anyone at that time was saying, I'm gonna time the market. I'm buying low, I'm buying low, I'm buying low at the lowest part of this market. And that's the only time that I want to buy. No, you're gonna miss the boat. That's what's gonna happen every single time. I'm telling you, 99% of real estate professionals can't time the market. All right. So with that being said, let's go into selling, right? Same exact principle. Now, a lot of times when people say, hey, you don't want to sell during a buyer's market. But what is a buyer's market? Buyer's market means that there's a lot of inventory that's out there, right? And there's so much inventory that buyers can be choosy, right? Buyers can choose, they can pick which properties they want. And that means that some sellers sit on the market and never sell, or they sit on the market for 6 months. That's usually the guideline. So if inventory stays on the market for at least 6 months, they considered it a buyer's market. In a buyer's market, typically buyers are able to purchase a property by lowballing on an offer. They're able to ask for incentives, ask for repairs, and the seller is willing to do it because in that case, sellers are what? Desperate in a sense, meaning that buyers can kind of control the market. That's basically what that means. So the thing is again, if you have to sell the property, that means you have to sell the property, meaning you have a job relocation, or you're ready to try and move up if possible, or you're trying to downsize. It all depends on your situation, right? That is when you should sell the property, rather if it's an up market or a seller's market or buyer's market or a neutral market. Okay, guys. So basically what I'm saying is it depends on your current situation. Okay. Don't try to time the market. You're not that good. You're not gonna get it right. Okay. And if you do, it is out of sheer luck. I guarantee it. All right. Um, anyways, other than that, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this content today. If you didn't tune in on the live feed, please check us out on the playback. And yeah, man, we'll just take it from there. So I appreciate y'all. Remember that this is your boy Key Bryant, and I can open the doors to any real estate opportunities that's out there, but you need to walk in. All right, y'all. Until next time, actually next Monday, that is, we're gonna tune in on keeping it real estate. Until then, y'all, later.